Mills fashions a kick back towards the wing for Lady! Left now, lines them up. It's coming back. Hawks is the biggest man there.
G'day guys, welcome to Red Time. Jared Barker, Mason Cox back for episode 20. Episode 20, another milestone.
The double decade.
Yeah, double decade.
We should have had some kind of popper or something.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, okay.
Why didn't you organise that?
That's my fault. Sorry.
How are you, mate? How's your week been?
It's been good. It's good. Can't complain. We hit a new membership, I think, number, which is like breaking the record or something this week. So 112,070 something maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like an all-time AFL record, I think. So it's pretty cool. So, yeah, well done to the club.
Yep.
Thanks to our supporters too and our fans. Cheers.
Absolutely. Training today as well went well.
Yeah, training's good. Just kind of rolling around. The weather's getting nice.
It is.
Finally, the sun's coming out.
As soon as the spring starts coming, it's the best time of the year.
It's finals footy, mate.
Finals
footy.
Smell it in the air. 1 week to go, and a lot's been happening. It's been a monster week of footy news. So, Mace, let's get stuck into it. As of now, this investigation still isn't closed as of the start of this podcast, but obviously Izak Rankine's alleged slur against Collingwood in round 23, the looming suspension and the fallout from that is what I want to touch on here. What's this week actually been like from inside the club that's in the middle of it all and seeing this news sort of unfold?
Yeah, I think we kind of, we acknowledged that something happened and, we're essentially saying it's AFL's hands now. So they'll go through the due processes that they need to be able to sort out what's going to happen. But I think from our side, like obviously it's something they're trying to stamp out of the game. So whenever it's heard on the field and stuff like that, being able to go out there and I guess report that is sometimes quite hard as a player. And I think it's just a credit to, I guess, the club culture and stuff that, we've built to want to make sure that stuff is not involved in the game. And, we'll kind of see where it all falls out. I think in the next probably 24, 48 hours, the AFL will make a decision around, how many weeks if he does get suspended and kind of what it looks like. But I think most people don't really know what's going to happen. It's a bit of a unique one.
Yeah, I think the AFL sort of set a precedent with the compounding bans that do happen with these slurs. We're going to touch on that. But I want to know, how does this news filter through to the actual playing group? I mean, does the club have a direct line of communication to you when this is happening, or is it just you guys are hearing this from the media just like we all are?
No, I think like our GM, Charlie Gardner, kind of deals with this. Yep. So for us, it's nice to be able to just kind of go, okay, like we've acknowledged this has happened. We've, passed this on to the right people that, are to handle this. And then they go from there so we can focus on the game. So for us, at the beginning of the week, he kind of, acknowledges this has happened. This is the due process is probably going forward with the AFL, and everything else, and kind of keeps us in the loop that way. But obviously our main focal point for this week is the Melbourne game ahead of us. So not really probably talked about too much inside of the walls as much as probably other people think. Obviously the media kind of runs with it because it's still ongoing.
Yep.
Whereas us as a collective, like there's nothing more for us to do or be involved in. So we've kind of moved on from it.
So it doesn't impact the playing group at all? It doesn't dominate the training conversations? You guys try and block it out? I mean, it'd be hard to ignore, wouldn't it?
I don't think we ignore it. Obviously we've acknowledged, but I think anything, like we can't really do anything more on our side, right? So like I said, you kind of give it to the powers that be of the AFL to make the decision. But I think like obviously there's conversations throughout the club of like kind of, where we want to see not only like our culture, but the broader AFL culture and community and what we find acceptable and everything else. So I think, whenever things like this unfortunately do happen, it does bring that up, and maybe it even brings it up into, the homes of people that are reading these things on the internet or kind of seeing, visions of different shows talking about it. And it kind of brings that conversation up of what's appropriate and what's not, which, I guess is somewhat of a trying to look at things in a glass half full manner, something positive that can maybe come out of this.
We just touched on before the compounding bans that are happening. So Jeremy Finlayson got 3 weeks last year. Will Power got 5 weeks. And that's that compound effect, but it's league-wide. It's not the individual. Like you see with other offences, right? First offence, second offence, your ban sort of increases. If it's a tripping offence, hypothetically, your fine will just increase every time. We don't have this on an individual level. We have this on a league level. I don't know if the question is it fair, but I guess as players, you obviously know what the AFL is trying to do. We all agree we're trying to stamp this out of the industry, which is a positive step, and that's all. That's a good thing. But does it affect you guys in that you guys know you're not supposed to do it? So it doesn't matter that it is compounding. Should it be a consistent ban, or is it just you're just aware of it? You know you shouldn't do it regardless.
I mean, I think I would hope that no one in our club thinks that's appropriate by any means.
Absolutely.
But yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't really, I guess, until this kind of happened to us, because we were involved, right? Like I wasn't really too aware of kind of the compounding.
There's just no set rule. There's no written rule about it. So is that confusing for players?
Well, I think there's just an understanding that like if something like that were to happen, then like the penalty is going to be severe.
Yeah.
And how many weeks or whatever it is, like that's determined on someone else. But I think for us, it's a stance the AFL said, hey, we're putting a line in the sand here saying like this is not going to happen in our industry. And if it does, you're going to hit with multiple weeks and you're going to get, sanctions that are going to be quite heavy. And I think it's, I understand it and I agree with it. So I'm not sure exactly going forward what the AFL will kind of do if at the end of the year this kind of thing steps back to a 2-game suspension for the first incident or 3-game, whatever it was. I'm not sure kind of how the AFL is going to go ahead with it, but yeah, it'll be interesting because I mean, like everyone obviously will have their different opinions on, what should happen or how many weeks is enough and things like that. But there hasn't been, I guess, like a staple of X amount of weeks is the normality to it.
I'm not sure there's a right or wrong answer to it either. We just know it just needs to be stamped out regardless.
It's a bit of grey area on the suspension, I think.
Yeah, there is. But that's the thing. Should from 2026 onwards, should it be a part of the table of offences, slurs and I don't know. I don't know what the correct answer is, but I don't know if we need that consistency for this sort of indiscretion. I think I'm pretty big on being accountable and taking personal responsibility for any actions that you commit and things that you say. That's probably more important than whatever the weeks you are going to get, because you're going to be banned, so you just don't do it anyway. I think almost a subtopic out of all of this, because there is the prospect now of Izak Rankine potentially, if this is all made to be true and he gets a reported 5-week suspension, he could miss out on a grand final should Adelaide get there. Almost a different topic, as I said, but should all players on a playing list receive a Premiership medallion if their side wins a grand final?
I mean, this is almost like a loaded question with the scenario that just happened with him. But I think, like, from my standpoint, I look back on our year whenever we won it in 2023, and the main one that sticks out is 2 people, John Noble, who missed out on the finals campaign, and then Dan McStay, who was in and missed the grand final with a PCL injury in the prelim, I think it was. I look at those and I think those people are deserving of a medal for sure. And I think like if you play one AFL game throughout that whole year, you should get some kind of medal or something that is acknowledging of you being a part of some part of that, year of season that was.
Recognizing the contribution.
Yeah, that you contributed to be able to get wins on the board, to then get you to that position to be able to get into a grand final and then to also win one. So I think there needs to be some kind of acknowledgement, or it was from a physical thing. I know like the medal's kind of like such a holy thing in the AFL industry. But I do think like I think those players should definitely get a medal also. I mean, I've come from a different background, so I don't really have this ideal, like, idolizing a medal in a sense, I think it's just, it's something you receive for, I guess, winning the whole thing. But I think if you're a part of that group and a part of that club that's, contributed in some way, shape, or form to be able to have success on the field, you should definitely have something to show for it.
Mate, let's get into start, bench, or drop and play the role of selector for these statements. I got the first one for you.
Yep.
Ollie Wine's 3-match ban for his bump on Cooper Lord was fair.
Yeah, it's a rough one. We talk about this, action or outcome. What are we punishing? This was the outcome, I think. Action, don't get me wrong, like a little bit late on the hit. But the thing that made him get 3 weeks, obviously, is the concussion side of it. So understand concussion, trying to get that out of the game. Totally for that. But it's a tough one for Ollie Wines to be in because I think he kind of went for the body in a sense. And unfortunately, that led to a concussion on the back end of it. So if he doesn't get concussed 1 week,
It's
He
not
does?
if there's no concussion.
Or, sorry, 0 weeks. Yeah, it's not even.
That's the issue. Is it's 0 or 3.
Yeah, and you've seen players, I guess, get hit in the same way and are fine. They get up, and maybe it might be a free kick downfield.
Well, this wasn't even a free kick.
Yeah,
which is part of the problem. Yes,
kind of. You almost say it's a conflict of interest. But yeah, I think the biggest thing we got to realize, and I think we've agreed with this, is the matrix system has to change. So, Greg Swan, good luck.
We need to have a system that allows for a 1 week ban, not just 0 or 3. Yep.
Needs to be a bit more detailed, I think.
You got the next one?
Yes, sorry.
You're right.
Nasiah Wanganeen-Milera re-signing
loyalty
with St Kilda is the biggest moment since making the 09/10 grand finals.
This was the biggest moment since Nasiah kicked the match winner against Melbourne a few weeks ago in that crazy 46-point comeback, and that was the biggest moment since St Kilda drafted him in 2021, which is the biggest moment since they made those grand finals, which is their biggest moment since they won the flag in, I think it was 1966. So I'm starting that call. That's
15 years. You're going to tell me the best thing that's happened to your club in 15 years is just signing someone for 2 years, and that's it.
He could be the greatest St Kilda player. He arguably already is.
Yeah, and what if he leaves after his contract?
That's hypotheticals.
Yeah, we're talking about like 10-year contracts with this guy, and all of a sudden he's only signed like 2 or 3. So,
well, you know,
I mean,
you went around in 9-10. You didn't know what football.
I don't know what 09-10 is. I know obviously the 10 grand finals a rematch and we won it, but start, bench, or drop on this one. I'm gonna have to go drop. Hopefully St Kilda can find some kind of other positive nature within the last 15 years they loved.
I'm sure there will be more good moments for the club moving forward. I'd love
I think there will be, but if you're telling me the best day as a St Kilda fan over the last 15 years was just someone's signature on a piece of paper,
it is
pretty wild.
It could be. It bands the supporters together. They have something to believe in. Best player re-signing.
You reckon I don't know if you've seen the TikTok of the girl that goes, win the Saints.
No? I know I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Let's get around it. What do you got for me?
I've got one. The Suns should be on upset alert this week.
I'm going to go drop that one. I mean, Ken's farewell. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Ken Hinckley fan. I've got so much love for him. I think he should have a massive I would love for him to actually get clapped off the ground because I don't feel like this ever happens with Ken.
He will regardless.
I just think that he needs to have some kind of, acknowledgement from Port fans to say like, hey, yes, we got rid of you. Yes, it's been back and forth and we haven't got the success that we wanted. But hey, we respect that you've given this much time to our club to try to get them in the best position possible to try and win a premiership. Now, I think that's just almost like from the fans, just show a bit of love and respect for someone who's just committed a decent chunk of his life to try to bring success to your club. Because I feel like he cops a lot of criticism and a lot of hate from people at Adelaide Oval. And I would just love for him to just have that feeling of going out, feeling loved, and having a good memory on the back end of it.
Yeah, I think he will. They made 4 prelims. They've been pretty stiff. He's done a superb job.
St Kilda would love that.
They would love that. That would be their biggest moments.
That would be the biggest moments.
I'm with you. I'm dropping that. I think the Suns win easily. They're if they're worth their salt, they'll be winning quite comfortably. So, yeah.
All right, we'll move to the next one. Harry Sheezel's 54 disposals is more impressive than Jeremy Cameron's 11 goals.
I'm starting that. Harry Sheezel's 54 is more impressive than Jez's 11. Yep, I'm starting it. 54, it's an equal record. He equaled Tom Mitchell, who did it against the Pies a fair few years ago now. But, 54 touches in a game, you don't see it. It's literally a record. 54 disposals in 2 hours of footy is like 1 disposal per 100 seconds, which is... I don't touch my phone that much in 2 hours, and I'm addicted to my phone, right? Like, it's ridiculous. When's the next time you're going to see 50 touches in a game?
I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care. Because midfielders get all the love. Get all the awards. Get the Brownlow Award. It's called the Midfielders Award. Don't get me wrong.
A 50 piece is pretty significant.
I will agree. It's significant.
Yeah.
I credit to him. I do think that. But if you're comparing that and 11 goals scored by Jeremy Cameron, I'm going to go 11 goals.
Yeah, you will, because look how tall you are. Look at the position you play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's way harder. If you just sit there under the ball and just grab, kick, you can get 54 easy.
I'm not discrediting the impact or the moment of Jeremy Cameron kicking 11 goals. It's one of the best performances of this season. So I'm not saying it's not up there and it's not impressive, but I'm definitely taking the 54 touches. I think the goals are like, they're a bit more flashy, right? It's a bit sexy.
Yeah.
It's like you're focusing on the dessert, whereas the 54 is like that's the hard grind. It's the main meal. I don't know. It's more impressive than goals, I think.
I think you're wrong. I can't agree with that.
I'm
just,
right, but
nah.
anyway.
All right, we'll go to the next one. What is that?
Three proposed rule changes after a meeting with the AFL and club footy bosses. I've picked out 3 of them. There could be more than this, but abolishing the sub rule.
Huge
Start
fan of
bench
that.
or drop.
Yeah, start that. 5 on the bench. I think it's something that we probably should have done a while ago, to be honest.
Sub rule sucks.
I just think, as someone who's been subbed off in a game, it's not a great feeling. It's really not a great feeling. And then also to be the sub for a game, it's kind of like you're there, but you're not fully there, you know? And it's one of those things. It's like, well, why don't we just have another one? Like, I just don't understand. I don't think it'll change much of the game, to be honest with you. Yes, it would give a bit more, I guess, rest, but minimal in the grand scheme of a game. And then it also just allows us to, I guess, maybe there's like a little bit less, I don't know, coaches' manipulation of the game in a sense of like who's the sub and when to put them on and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think coaches would want to start a sub anyway. They wouldn't want the sub rule. It'd be hard to tell a player that you're starting on the bench.
It's the worst job in footy is being a head coach, telling people they can't play.
There's no point of that.
It'd be terrible. What else you got?
Centre bounce ruck rule amendments. So basically just taking away a ruckman's ability to take the space away from their opponent.
Look, I don't know what's above start on this start bench drop thing, but I'll take above start. Whatever is harder than that, I'm all for it because the center bounce has become the most boring thing in football.
Yep.
The absolute most boring thing. It used to be a spectacle. It used to be 2 ruckmen lining up against each other. So I'm out, jump you, or I'm going to stick a knee through your chest. Now, you might as well go watch WWE because it's just a wrestle. We got no idea where the ball is going. And then you just sit there and someone gets a free kick. Both ruckmen look at each other like, who's getting the ball? And whenever both of them don't know, it's probably a sign we should probably change the rule.
Yeah. The pure art of ruck craft, the Nick Natanui style, running and jumpy.
It's sexy. It's fun. It's cool. It's the best. It's one of the best parts of football. It's like taking the specky away for ruckman.
The ruckman specky is
that's the equivalent of another person. Like that's Bobby Hill taking a specky is like ruckman center bounce jumps because we don't get much.
Yeah,
we don't get much.
I wouldn't say it's a specky, but I know what you're saying. I know that it means a lot to you.
It's the flashiest part of our job.
I'm starting that as well, by the way, so I am with you on that.
Okay.
The adoption of the last disposal rule.
Yes, I will start that.
So last disposal out of bounds, that is.
I think it just makes more clarity in the game.
Yeah.
I think people get upset whenever you got this umpire just throwing his arm out to the boundary, not really quite sure what he's doing.
And you can see them doing it as well.
Oh yeah, they get real hyped.
They love doing it.
Oh, the trot, the little pep in their step once they get over there.
Do you reckon an umpire's favorite free kick to pay is insufficient intent?
Because they know they get a reaction from the crowd every time.
They're like, they are absolutely sprinting to the boundary line.
Yeah.
They are blowing that whistle with plenty of gusto. They are like,
because it's a build-up. Because it's obvious that something's gonna. You have to make that call.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
and you can
game hasn't, like, it's not like an in tight, like, oh, who did it kind of thing. It's like, it's obvious. Like, it is very obvious.
Anticipation in the crowd as well. They're like, he's gonna blow that
He's
whistle.
gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
It's either that and like slowing down for holding the ball as well. They sort of stand there for 3 seconds. They know they're holding the ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones.
There's anticipation with it.
Bit of me time.
Yeah, bit of me time. Man.
They love that.
As far as I enjoy that.
One more.
All right, yeah, sorry. Inside 50 efficiency is the most important stat in footy, and we all underrate it.
Well, I'll start it just because it's topical, given the Pies had 71 inside 50s against the Crows and still lost. I think it was a plus 34 differential. Most inside 50s in the game the Pies have had in 8 years, that was. I did check. 9 of the top 11 teams for the scores per inside 50 stat this year are in the top 10 on the ladder. So it's clearly pretty important to be efficient going inside 50. So for that, I will start that it is an underrated stat, inside 50 efficiency.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's an underrated stat, but I'll bench it. I'm going to go in between the two because I think it depends on what team you're playing. Adelaide falls back, wet weather day. Efficiency inside 50 is not going to be great. It's going to be tough. There's other teams like Melbourne this weekend will play another one behind the ball. So it makes it a bit harder to kind of be able to take a mark inside 50 and make it clean just because there are numbers back. And then they look to kind of bounce. So I think it's kind of determined on who you play, how many times you play them, things like that. So I'm going to go in between. Important, but also situational.
Well said. I'm usually the one that fence sits as well. You benched.
That was the only one. I mean, the ruck stuff was I couldn't have started that more.
It would be pretty hard on that one. Yep. All right, looking ahead to a huge slate of games this week. One more round to go, as we said, and plenty can still happen. It's now time for the Hot Stat Checklist, powered by StatMate. Download the app for free now. We're going to start with Collingwood and Melbourne. So a few players like this matchup. So Jack Crisp has had more than 20 disposals in his last 8 games against the D's. Clayton Oliver, he averages 34.8 disposals in his last 5 games against the Pies. And Patrick Lipinski has kicked 6 goals in his last 5 games against the D's, hitting the scoreboard in 4 of those 5 matches. So look out for those 3. Am I right in saying did you win a Queen's Birthday medal? You did, didn't you?
Should have in 2023, I think.
When was the year you won it?
Yeah, 2018.
18, yeah. How many
should have been 2023.
How many did
Josh Gabler.
You know how many?
0 votes, and that screwed me over. Then Clayton Oliver.
In 23?
Yeah.
Was that a win?
Yeah.
Stiff.
Yeah, I know. So Josh Gabler is actually kind of a friend of mine too, so every time I see him, I always give him a bit of flack.
So you should be a 2-time Queen's Birthday, King's Birthday.
That's a real cocky thing to say, isn't it?
No, but mate, back yourself in. What did you have in 2022?
I don't know. It was enough. 2023 was enough to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll live with you forever now.
I've already got one. If it was like my only one chance to get it, I'd be a little bit more livid. But I've got the cup back home. Be all right.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Next game we're going to look at Western Bulldogs versus Fremantle. This one's huge. So the winner makes finals and the loser misses it. A couple players of note here. Caleb Sarong averages 35.2 disposals in his last 5 games against the Dogs. He's gone 35 plus in 4 of those. Aaron Norton in a fair bit of form at the moment. Is he and Sam Darcy? Norton has booted 25 goals in his last 5 games under the Marvel Stadium roof. So I think, both Norton and Darcy will be in the All-Australian mix now, given their second halves of the season. Such a dominant key forward pairing.
It's an interesting game. I'm going to be so interested to see what actually happens here. Who do you have winning this?
Dogs is the easy tip just because they're the home
Marvel
team.
Stadium,
Yeah. But the Dockers, they've pulled off a few upsets this year. I know they're the storyline because, they've done it again. They've missed the finals again. But would you be surprised if they could upset the Dogs? I wouldn't.
No. I actually... the Dogs at home...
We do know that the Dogs are going to be scoring as heavily as possible.
Yes, 100%.
That's their one word.
All-out attack, without a doubt. Yeah, so...
I don't know if the Dockers can match that.
I mean, this would be a fantastic game. This is one of the games we'll definitely have an eye on for the weekend. But, I mean, I love an upset, so I'm just sure Fremantle because I'm just one of those guys. Just loves an underdog.
Former assistant Justin Longmuir. You got to
good fella. Great fella. It's a tough. Yeah, I don't know. The Bulldogs are a good team though, and they play so well at Marvel. So So I'm still going to choose them losing.
So the loser will finish on 15 wins and miss finals. Which is pretty
so rough.
Stiff, unless Gold Coast lose to Port and Essendon, which isn't going to happen.
Because we had a chat about this. 15 wins usually essentially would give you
top 4
in previous years.
15 has been enough in past years to finish in the top 4.
So to sit there on 15 and not even make finals.
Ninth. Yeah, it's pretty stiff.
Whoa, be pretty livid.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be stoked about that.
Brisbane and Hawthorn, so another one with massive finals permutations as well. So Dylan Moore has kicked a goal in all of his last 5 games against the Lions. James Warple has picked up 20-plus disposals in all of his last 4 games against the Lions as well. This is actually Dane Zorko's 300th, Charlie Cameron's 250th. Wow. So a big occasion for them, but the Hawks have won 5 of their past 6 against Brisbane, and they can finish in the top 4 if they win. But they have to beat Brisbane by more than what Collingwood beat Melbourne by, essentially, to finish in the top 4.
Interesting.
So a lot can happen.
Zorko, 300.
Yeah.
Cameron, 250.
You can't
Shout out to that.
You can't lose when it's a milestone, can you?
Well, I mean, one of them has to.
Well, there's no milestone for the Hawks.
Oh, sorry, Cameron. I thought you said Jesse Cameron. I was like, I thought Jesse Cameron would play more games than that.
No,
Charlie Cameron. Sorry. Yes, okay. Well, in that case, I don't know, though. Hawthorn.
They're a good team. They're a smoky for the flag this year, in my eyes. The Hawks.
Yeah.
They're hitting form at the right time.
They are.
Record against Brisbane, even though they lost there this year.
No, I'm going to go Brisbane.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Brisbane.
Home team, it's easy.
Hawks, top 4 chance. I don't know. Yeah, Brisbane home ground. Got to take that. Zorko 300, Cameron 250. It's pretty good innings.
Yeah.
That is a pretty darn good innings. Hey, another shout out to a person that's got a milestone this week.
Who's that?
Tim Membry, 200 games.
200?
200 for the old Timmy.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Just got a little throw in there,
Yeah. Been a good pickup this year.
He's been a great pickup.
What's he been like around
Not great
the
for
club?
me, but he has been a good pickup. It's like,
good character around the club?
yeah, he's actually a legend. Yeah, he's a good fella. Great family, man. Just a good guy to have around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gets it done. Just gets it done.
You guys had a few milestones this year. Harry Perriman 150 was recently too.
Steel 350.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yep. Same game.
Yep.
I can't believe I just thought Jezza Cameron was a hawk. Just gonna go back to that.
I did
just saw Cameron 250. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's how many goals he's kicked this year.
Yeah, seriously. All right.
That's it. So 3 massive games there. That was the hot stat checklist powered by StatMate. Download the app for free now. Last segment, Coxy. Don't be surprised if...
Huge.
And I'm going to get this one underway. Don't be surprised if the AFL regrets not playing the Gold Coast Essendon game through the mid-year bye. I think this is going to fizzle next week on Wednesday night. I think the Suns are going to destroy Essendon. They have no reason to be rocking up to that. They've got nothing to play for. You also give the Suns a 5-day break. They get less break than all the other top 4 teams, should they make it. So I think the AFL got it wrong, and I just think they did what was easy in the end.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in, right? I think it was the cyclone that caused this early in the season.
It was opening round.
So opening.
They had 24 weeks to play this game.
Yeah, that's
the easy decision is just pre-finals bye. That's easy.
Yeah,
I don't think it's right though.
I would probably
what they need to do now.
Where Gold Coast is at too. I would rather have an extra game in the middle of the season than have a week off before finals. But then you also think, and you go, well, if they're playing Essendon in the middle of the year, they're probably a better outfit than they are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So maybe they're getting
the Bombers.
Yeah. So, because they would have injuries and things like that, right? Yeah. They've kind of stacked up throughout the season. So they might not have the best team at the end of the year. So it's kind of like...
It compromises the ladder a little bit.
Yeah,
not drastically.
Not drastically,
but in hindsight, it will.
It'll probably be a really low-viewed game. I don't think the viewership will be watching.
I mean, the reality is Gold Coast might need to win that game to finish in the top 4.
Yeah,
the reality is like there's going to be eyeballs on it. First final series in the club's history, potential top 4 as well.
Pretty wild, eh?
Yeah.
So good.
It'd be a pretty big moment.
Huge Gold Coast guy.
Yeah. So I think there will be a lot of eyeballs on it. I just don't think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be an eyesore.
Yeah.
What are you rocking up for if you're Essendon? Mate, what do you have to play for?
You're rocking up for the beers in the cooler after is what you're rocking up for.
If they get within 10 goals, it's a win.
Within 10?
If they get within 10 goals, that's a win.
That's a stat if I've ever seen.
What you got?
All right. Don't be surprised. Speaking of viewership, the Carlton versus Essendon game has got the sack from Channel 7. Says, nah, not good enough. We've had a big burst in viewership at Channel 7 from home and away. Why? Because Irene's left the show. After about 150 years on the show, she's finally decided home and away is not home for her anymore. She decided, I'm done. I'm out. So I figured I'd end this little segment with a little quote from Irene.
Oh, please.
Well, I thought I just did it. I said, take care of each other, all right? Take care of each other. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, JP. Straight from the horse's mouth, Irene, home and away, getting the prime time over the Essendon Carlton game.
Congratulations to Irene.
Yeah.
I'm not a home and away fan.
I had no idea who she was until today.
I watched it when I was in primary school. I was going to say, I didn't take you for a home and away fan. But pretty funny that they just canned this game.
Just canned it. Said,
huge game. Two big rivals, 80K the G. Probably not.
No,
probably not.
That's a little
You can see what they would have been hoping with this game, but yeah.
Missed the mark a little bit.
Fell flat. Oh, well.
Hey, but look after each other, like Irene says.
You can't win them all.
End of the day, that's what matters.
Can I just say, I don't like pumping up my own tyres.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm going to pump up my own tyres. We need to bring up which episode I said, I started saying that Adelaide and Geelong will finish top 2 and Gold Coast will finish in the top 4. It's going to happen.
Oh, wow.
I just want to say...
You have been saying that for like weeks.
Yeah, how many weeks?
Probably months, actually. I'm not even going to go weeks. I'm going to go higher. Months.
You know what they say? You throw enough darts...
One will land.
One of them's going to hit.
One will land.
I get a lot wrong, but not that one.
All right.
I nailed it.
All right, last thing before we get out of here, shout out Will Hoskin-Elliott retired today. Absolutely love the man. Sad to see him go, but he's had an incredible, I think, 14 years in the industry. A man that can play any position on the field.
Swiss Army knife.
Absolute Swiss Army knife. Absolutely love him to death. Been through some some really good and bad times with him. And he's a great man, family man. Just want to give him a shout out before we get out of here.
Yep, well said. And congratulations to him. Mason, thanks for your time. Go well on the weekend.
See you later, Irene.
See you later, Irene. Thanks for listening or watching. Enjoy the footy, guys. Speak to you next time.